Hi, I'm Christian Hogsberg, a teacher at the University of Brighton. I'm a historian, I'm Secretary of Brighton UCU, and I've helped work with Brighton Trades Council to organise a commemoration of the Battle of Lewes Road.
My name's Peter Crowhurst. I'm the archivist for the Brighton and Hove commemorative plaque panel. The plaque panel is responsible for unveiling new plaques, and we unveil about 3 or 4 every year. In Brighton we have about 160 plaques. They're not all blue. The blue plaques really date from about 2006. One that's been unveiled today is a rectangular plaque, which we use for events, and we use the round plaque for people.
Okay, my name's David Knight. I am the great-grandson of John Lawrence Knight, who was one of the strikers here at the Battle of Lewes Road that kind of came down and made a stand against the forces that were prevailing upon them. He wasn't an employee of the tram company where we are today. He was a Southern Railway worker, as was my grandfather, and this peaceful, very non-violent man took a stand. So that's why I'm here to support the event today.
The reason today is so important, as has been said, is it is vital that we recognise and understand moments in our labour history and the history of the labour movement. And the reason that's important, or one of the reasons that's important, is that there is an alternative view of history that is sometimes described, which is that there's a natural arc of justice and that things will improve over time if we just wait long enough. And actually, most of us here know that that isn't correct, and that most of the victories, most of the advances, most of the improvements in the daily lives of all of us and working people were not given from the top because we waited long enough. They were fought and they were won. And that's why it's so important that we have to recognise the history of our labour movement.
And it's really wonderful, really, for the Trades Council to be able to be part of such a major piece of labour movement history as is being remembered today. The Battle of Lewes Road is a very crucial, pivotal part of our history, the Trades Council's history. Brighton Hove District Trades Council was formed or founded in 1890 in the room above the Eagle Pub. And we're proud that it's arguably one of the oldest still continuously functioning bodies in the city.
I'm Siân Berry, Green MP for Brighton Pavilion, and I'm very, very proud to have been here today for this very historic moment. It's so important that we as a city recognise our history, and the history of workers' solidarity in the city is very, very strong. This plaque means a lot to everybody and means a lot to our values as a city, and it's great to see it up there.
We've had the plaque unveiling with Siân Berry and Jacob Taylor from the council. We had amazing. We had we had the great grandson of one of those who was targeted in the aftermath of the Battle of Lewes Road as well.
In 1926, the slogans and the penny concerts, the jazz bands and the moorland picnics, and the slanderous tongues of the famous cities. Do you remember 1926, the great dream and the swift disaster, the fanatic and the traitor, and more than all, the bravery of the simple, faithful folk? Aye, aye, we remember 1926, they die in Shinken as they stood on the curb at Charing Cross Road, and we shall remember 1926 until our blood is dry.
And we've now had a commemoration event at the university here with Judy Cox speaking, Henry Fowler speaking. Now we've got a session with two people who actually made this film in 1984 about the Battle of Lewes Road, which is a fantastic film, and so I'm really looking forward to that.
The Battle of Lewes Road aroused strong feelings in the strikers, particularly in view of the way the situation was handled by the mounted police, many of them volunteers. And out of these strong feelings has grown a mythology. This mythology attempts to create a clear narrative to what happened, and this is frequently how history is made. In order to create a narrative, the contradictions, or some of them, are often ignored. This is done to make the story coherent. Most modern accounts state that Brighton was solid in its support for the general strike.
Right, and then we've got David Rovich, who's written a song especially for the Battle of Lewes Road, performing in Brighton alongside Rob Johnson on Monday night as well. So Yeah, a lot to commemorate on the centenary Battle of Lewes Road. Struggle continues, solidarity.